Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to present a topic on research methodology for engineers and managers. This course is guided by me, T. Harinaraina, who is an advisor at Tasmania University, OTBI. Research methodology helps engineers and managers understand how research is planned, conducted, analyzed, and presented in a systematic way. It provides scientific methods to solve problems, make decisions, and develop innovative ideas. This course is divided into 5 important modules. The first module is Research Problem Formulation, which explains how to identify and define a research problem. The second module is Hypothesis Formulation, where assumptions and predictions are developed. The third module focuses on statistical techniques. The fourth module explains statistical analysis of data. Finally, the fifth module discusses how to prepare a proper research report. Overall, these modules help students learn the complete process of research step by step. This slide explains the topics included under hypothesis formulation. It covers the meaning and need of research design, basic concepts of research, and different research designs. It also explains experimental design principles, design of experimental setups, mathematical modeling, simulation, validation, experimentation, directional analysis, and similitude. These concepts are important because they help researchers organize and conduct research in a scientific and reliable way. Before starting any research work, it is important to identify the correct research problem. Research design acts like a complete action plan for solving the research problem. It helps researchers decide how data should be collected and analyzed. It mainly includes 2 things. First, arranging conditions for acquiring data, and second, selecting proper methods of data analysis to achieve the research objectives. So, research design gives proper direction to the entire research work. Research design mainly involves 4 important activities. The first activity is identifying a suitable method, such as sample design. The second activity is deciding the conditions for observation and data collection, called observational design. The third activity is deciding the number of observations, which comes under statistical design. The fourth activity is identifying operational techniques required for conducting the research effectively. These activities help in organizing research systematically. Research design is essential for achieving the objectives of a research problem. It provides a clear scope and direction for the study. A proper research design saves time and reduces unnecessary expenditure. It also helps in avoiding errors during research and improves the reliability and accuracy of the final results. Therefore, research design is considered one of the most important parts of research methodology. A good research design should have several important qualities. It should be flexible so that changes can be made whenever necessary. It should also be efficient and economical, reducing wastage of time and resources. The design must meet the objectives of the research problem and should be specific to the nature of the problem being studied. Different problems require different types of research designs. This slide explains 2 important types of research: exploratory research and descriptive research. In exploratory research, discovering new ideas and gaining insights are more important. Therefore, the research design should be flexible. In descriptive research, the focus is mainly on reporting observations accurately. So, the number of variables and accuracy of collected data become very important. Both research types are useful depending on the purpose of the study. This slide introduces the basic concepts involved in research design. There are around 22 important terms used in research methodology. Some of them include system, concept, principle, laws, theory, bias, simulation, variables, hypothesis, treatments, experiments, and experimental units. Understanding these concepts is important because they form the foundation for conducting scientific research effectively. This slide explains the first 6 concepts in research methodology. A system is an arrangement of ideas or activities. A concept is a visionary expression of an idea. A principle is a guiding thought or fundamental truth. Laws are scientific truths such as the law of gravity or conservation of energy. A theory is developed based on facts and ideas. Bias means prejudice or error, such as sample bias in research. These concepts help researchers understand the theoretical foundation of research. This slide explains the next set of concepts. A process refers to a sequence of operations or tasks. Practice means using systematic methods and standard techniques. Simulation is the creation of a model based on a real or hypothetical system. Variables represent measurable quantities that may change. Variables can be continuous or discrete depending on their values. The slide also explains dependent and independent variables, which are commonly represented on X and Y axis. This concept diagram explains the relationship between independent and dependent variables. The independent variable acts as the input, while the dependent variable acts as the output. Between them, there is a process that transforms the input into the output. This diagram helps us understand how variables interact during research and experimentation. This slide adds an extraneous variable to the previous concept diagram. An extraneous variable is a factor that affects the results but is not directly related to the study. In this example, the grinder acts as an external factor influencing the process. Researchers must identify such variables because they may affect the accuracy of the research results. This slide introduces the concept of control in research design. Control is used to manage or reduce the effect of extraneous variables. By controlling unwanted variables, researchers can obtain more accurate and reliable results. This helps in maintaining the validity of the relationship between input and output variables. This slide explains 4 important concepts in detail. Input variables are generally independent variables, while output variables are dependent variables. Extraneous variables are factors that are not part of the study but may influence the results. Control means reducing or managing the effect of these unwanted variables. If independent variables are affected by extraneous variables, the relationship becomes confounded, meaning the results may not be accurate. This slide explains research hypothesis and experimental concepts. A research hypothesis is a prediction that connects independent and dependent variables. Experimental hypothesis involves manipulation of independent variables, while non-experimental hypothesis does not involve manipulation. The slide also explains experimental and control groups, where some samples are tested under special conditions and others under normal conditions for comparison. This slide explains the final concepts. Treatments refer to different conditions or controls applied during experiments. An experiment is a process used to test the truth of a hypothesis. Experimental units are the predefined parameters or subject used in the experiment. These concepts are important for conducting organized and scientific experiments. To summarize all the key points in today's presentation, we discussed research design, its meaning, and its importance in research methodology. We also learned about the basic concepts involved in research design and identified 22 important terms related to research execution. Overall, this session provided a clear understanding of how research is systematically planned and conducted. Thank you everyone for your attention. I hope this presentation helped you understand the basics of research methodology and different types of research problem.